Morning, Daryl. Artist in recovery. It's 4:07 on the West Coast time for a Sunday, the 19th of November, 2023. Responding to this morning's article regarding that flip off to Trump and everything else going on with him. Well, let's just say if Schmuck gets in office, I'm going to be asking you, how's your shoe size and do you like the same color? Apparently, the Trump supporters, I don't call them MAGAs, I call them maggots because they replicate each other. They create each other out of their own pile, and they look and smell the same thing, and act the same way, and talk the same way. They want the same thing. Let them bring it on to me. I don't care. I've been talking about that from the old gas bag for a long while. I don't give a hoot. Dude, I'm in a situation right now where they're going to take away my life or my freedom. They're going to have a fight on that one. Yeah, I'll continue to talk because I got the First Amendment. I'll continue to talk and they won't like it, and I don't care. I'll continue to talk because it's necessary. I'll continue to fight like hell if I had to. I'm going to be a hurting bastard, that's for damn sure. I'll be fighting for my freedom, and I'll be fighting for the Constitution. The only way I know how to do that is by being what I am right now on my channel. If they have to take away the channel, there's going to be something else. I'm going to have to find a way. Communication is the only way I know how to fight. So, the only thing I can tell the maggots out there is my front door. Got your little jackboots in here. Tell me how much you scream and yell that you love the Trumper. Then I'm going to give you a garbage bag and say, put yourself in it and get lost. There's a garbage can out there. That's where you belong. It's one thing to understand if having a debate, serious topics, let me see if I can get this worded correctly on this one. Having debates is a necessity for democracy because we need to find out where the sides are coming from and where the common gray area is so we can do the compromise in order to continue to govern. I didn't say what was after that, but just govern our country, our states, our local communities. It may not be quote unquote well or correctly, but we try to govern as best as we can. And we use democracy as the tool because this is the tool that we have. We debate, we argue, we try to find the common ground at this point over here. And when it comes from one particular side saying you're going to follow us because we say so, us versus them, the manifest destiny and everything else kind of going through the damn mouths and heads. I don't think that understanding history in the first place or how it works. I think history is inconvenient. Said before in a lot of my videos at this point over here, I use a lot of metaphors from literacy, from films, televisions that I've been exposed to, and examples that the writers back then saw what was going on in their time to explain it to the future generations. As I said before, there was one particular Twilight episode that had Burgess Meredith in it. And he was being judged because he was obsolete with his viewpoints, with his books, with everything. He is obsolete. And the state has told him basically you're going to be executed in one particular form or fashion. And then the judge, who's nearly about 20 years younger or 10 years younger, he's going to be with the guy. He's going to be with Burgess Meredith. So at the last few days, or actually last few hours, the judge is getting anxious, and Burgess Meredith is, he's okay with it. Passing of the old to the new. Unfortunately, the new is all jackboots in the same colored uniform. Even though it is black and white, you can imagine what the uniform is like. And the youth, or the kids, are the teenagers. And they don't like what the old has to do. The judge escapes the execution. Burgess Meredith's apartment in the Twilight Zone episode blows up. So basically, everything else of the old just got decimated, gone, except for the judge. He goes back to the courtroom, and then he sees his protege. You are obsolete. No, wait a minute. I'm one of you. I'm one of you. You are obsolete. You can't do this to me. You are obsolete. And then you see the kids are going, and you see the next scene of the dog pile. Us versus them. Our viewpoint versus yours. But if you want to put it in a Star Trek context, we are the Borg. You will be assimilated. Resistance is futile. Your life, as it has been, is over. From this time forward, you will service us. Yeah, right. The Borg are the relentless enemy created, showing people that freedom, liberty, individuality sucks. They should join the winning side, which is you be us or else. We're going to kill you or we're going to assimilate you. How would you want it? Harsh reality to deal with. But if we're going to be dealing with this kind of situation over here, I might as well refer back over to the 1940s. A certain country called Italy. There was a crazy person over there, joined up with a few other crazy people that want to rule the world. Emperor Hirohito was going to do the Pacific area and try to take over Indochina, take over China, take over that area. Stalin was trying to get his own authoritative regime of communism going on. But he decided that Hitler was too damn crazy, so he joined the Allies. The French, Vichy, and the Frenchmen were fighting. The Frenchmen were fighting in their own country during that time. If you're Vichy, you fight the Americans. If you're not Vichy, you join the Allied movement. And there was French foreign resistors, French foreign leaders, were trying to beat back the Nazi Germany during that time. And Italy lost Mussolini. Mussolini was one of those schmucks who had helped keep things in an iron fist, much like Hungary's Orbán. How about even worse? Iran. Religion, running the country like you either believe in this or else you're going to die. Well, we'll give you a little bit of freedom, but you still die anyway. Same thing like the Taliban. Afghanistan. How about in Africa? How many countries are at war with each other? Civil wars against military warlords and dictators. See, we got this thing about power. Once you get the taste of power in your mouth, you want more and more and more of it. It's worse than having an addiction to the new flavor of Doritos. You get this craving set up in your head and you want more of the damn stuff. But for those who are going to get the jackboot stomped on us here, either we're going to get used to the thing or else we're going to be taking the jackboot and taking it off the person's foot and then give them a foot tickle. I got some bird's eye here. Stick it in his boots and put the feet back in. Let's see how he does it with those. My dog has to deal with that on a constant basis. So do I. I have to keep pulling the birds out of her feet, and my fingers get hurt in the process. So if we got the old gas bag going to be winning again, he's going to have to get used to people flipping him off because that's the American way. I'm sorry. You don't like the person, you're going to flip them up, and you're demonstrating your First Amendment rights of saying, I disapprove of you. Deal with it. But the other person's going to be saying, okay, that's it. We're going to declare hostilities and conflict. So the other person is going to go, and then the fight's on. And those who keep supporting the maggot in charge, the old gas bag, they're the ones going to be putting it. It's worse than watching the Hitler Youth. Tattletalers, everything. How many shows and how many movies that did something about that one? Everything has to be in this particular form or faction. Faction. I didn't say fashion. But this is what some people like for the authoritative regime. They want to turn it into something that they hated for a long... Actually, they didn't realize that they hated. Or their grandparents and great-grandparents fought against. But now we're going to turn into them. You talk about ultimate betrayal. You're talking about ultimate betrayal of the things that our previous generations had fought against. World War I, World War II. Hell, how about even going back as far as Civil War? We fought against each other because we had our own idealisms breaking everybody else apart. There was a lot of reasons why the Civil War went on and started. How about going further when our country was at war with other countries across the ocean span, primarily with England. King of England, Parliament, telling the colonies, get with the program, we're going to suck you dry or else. You're taking away your freedoms, you're going to deal with what we say. That's why the colonies were started in the first place, because we didn't want that damn crap happening in the first place. I mean, does anybody study any history or just boil it down? And I'm crazy because I go to college. I'm a libtard and a libtard. Well, they called that to me for years in this town of Rosamond, California. Simply put, they're Trumplicans. A few of them are Democrats. A few of them are liberal-minded, but the others are Trumplicans. They'll go along with the program because they think Trump was king, he was God, he was something. And the representative that they threw in office, a supposed wannabe of the Trumplican, or of the Trump himself. Ugh, God, what a name. What happened to this guy? He climbed up to the top of the apex, he thinks. He wanted more power, more control. He thinks it was going to be it. And then he realized that the apex is full of predators coming up the sides and throwing the king off the mountain. You gotta love education. I swear, you get all these analogies going on, all these metaphors you use. You gotta love literacy, and you gotta love literature in different forms and fashions. I'm starting to understand more and more about why my brother liked history and political science, but not much to political science. He just liked knowledge of that kind of stuff. But the political stuff, that's all the head games. That's the head game control right there. And now we get to deal with the multiple head gamers out there who are saying, follow me, or follow me. I got the Bible, follow me. I'm spewing off the Bible here. Here's the chapter, here's the verse. Now listen to me as I say this verse out there. Yeah, right. But you gotta listen to me. I'm the voice of God. No, you're the voice of ego. No! You are a blasphemer! You will do. Now you're not following the Trump. You're not following the Trump. How dare you? Notice the hand is kind of shaking at that point, and the finger's pointing like this. I love muscle control, you know? So, I'm going to say, bring it on. What are you going to do worse? I'm going to throw you under a bus. Well, that's okay. You throw me under a bus, I get squished, I get injured, I get thrown into the hospital. I'll probably end up dead. And then the body will get cremated and everything else gets tossed in the garbage. And then the other thing I got to deal with is the afterlife, because now I have to deal with the ultimate authority, the Creator. Did I do right by Him, or was it right by someone or something else? That's what I have to worry about more of. I worry about my dog. I worry about how she's going to live if I happen to pass away. If she happens to pass away before him, then I'm probably going to be next. And I probably say, I'm too tired for life. Just take it already. Because you're taking everything else that I cared about. I'll probably say, bring it on. You want to bring on the killing? Take us both out. Of course, this probably won't get published much. I'll have to edit it out because of the Google stuff. So this is the raw stuff. It gets out there, But I'll put up the sanitized version of this.